Silence hangs heavy over the open land. No trees, no birds, no movement. Just wind, dust, and time standing still. In the middle of this forgotten place something waits. A shape once proud, now slumped under the weight of years. Rust gnaws at its body like an untreated wound. Dust blankets it so thick it hides the color it once wore with confidence. Tires collapsed into the ground, surrendering long ago. Glass cracked, clouded, fractured by neglect. Metal scarred by sun, rain, and abandonment. This is not just a car. This is a 1964 Pontiac GTO, the machine that defined muscle before the world even knew what muscle was. Once this car roared. Once it ruled streets and drag strips, turning heads with raw power and unmistakable presence. Once it was freedom forged in steel. Now it sits broken, silent, and forgotten. Years ago someone parked it here, maybe with hope of returning, maybe with regret, or maybe life simply moved on, leaving this legend behind. Seasons passed without mercy. Dust storms sandblasted its skin. Rain crept into seams, feeding corrosion. Rubber hardened and cracked. Chrome dulled. Wiring decayed. The engine that once thundered now sleeps beneath layers of decay, its heartbeat frozen in time. Most would see scrap metal, a lost cause, a relic too far gone. But legends do not die quietly. They wait, and today someone has heard its call. The moment of discovery is never loud. There is no dramatic music in real life. Just footsteps crunching on dry ground, a hand brushing dust from a badge. The unmistakable letters emerge beneath the grime. GTO. A breath catches. Because history has been found, every dent tells a story. Every rust hole whispers of miles driven, nights raced, engines pushed to the limit. This car lived, and because it lived it deserves another chance. The decision is made without words. This Pontiac will not rot here. Not today, not ever again. Bringing it back is not easy. The tires are frozen, the brakes seized, the steering reluctant. It resists being moved, like a giant waking from a decades-long sleep. Metal groans as it's coaxed onto a transporter. Dust lifts into the air one last time, as if the place itself protests losing its forgotten resident. As the GTO rolls away, the land returns to emptiness. But something has changed. The journey has begun. At the workshop, light replaces shadow. The car is set down gently, as if respecting its age. Under bright lamps, the damage becomes clearer. Rust has eaten through panels. Seams have split. The hood is pitted, the trunk floor compromised. The interior smells of old fabric, oil, and time itself. But beneath the damage, the bones are strong. This car was built in an era when steel meant something. The first step is cleansing. Years of neglect must be washed away before healing can begin. Water hits the body, turning dust into muddy rivers that run off the panels. Grime loosens, layers peel back. Rust stains bleed like old scars exposed to air. Slowly, the original lines reappear, the aggressive stance, the long hood, the promise of power. Inside, debris is removed piece by piece. Seats that once held drivers gripping the wheel in excitement are lifted out, their frames tired but salvageable. Carpet disintegrates at the touch. Dash components crumble, brittle with age. Rodent nests, leaves, and fragments of the past are cleared away. This is not glamorous work. It is honest work. Every bolt resists. Every fastener fights back. Hands get cut, knuckles bruise. Patience is tested. But the goal remains fixed. Revival. The body is stripped down to bare metal. Paint flakes away, revealing raw steel beneath. Rust is no longer hidden. It is confronted. Panels are cut out where corrosion has gone too far. New metal is shaped, welded, and blended with precision. Each repair is measured, tested, and refined. Hammer strikes echo in the shop, rhythmic and deliberate. Sparks fly. Steel transforms. This is craftsmanship, not replacement, but restoration. The GTO's body slowly straightens. Dents are massaged out, lines sharpen, gaps tighten. What was once sagging and broken now begins to stand tall again. The car seems to remember what it used to be. While the body heals, attention turns to the heart. The engine is pulled, heavy and silent. On the stand it looks tired. Oil sludge coats internal surfaces, bearings show wear. Seals are brittle, but the block is solid. The soul is intact. Disassembly reveals decades of service etched into metal. Pistons worn smooth, valves carbonized. Every component tells a story of combustion, heat, and power. Cleaning begins. Parts are soaked, scrubbed, measured. Some are replaced, others restored. Tolerances are checked meticulously. This engine will not just run. It will run right as it is rebuilt, piece by piece, torque by torque. The engine regains its purpose. Pistons slide into cylinders with precision. Bearings cradle the crankshaft once more. valves seat perfectly, ready to breathe fire again. This is resurrection in its purest form. Back outside, the body is prepped for paint. Sanding transforms rough steel into smooth canvas. Primer coats the surface, sealing the work beneath. The car looks ghostly now, a blank version of itself, waiting for identity. Then comes color. Paint flows over the body like liquid history. Deep, rich, timeless. Each pass of the spray gun adds life. The GTO's curves come alive under the gloss. Light reflects cleanly now, no longer broken by rust or decay. Clear coat follows, sealing brilliance beneath a protective skin. When polishing begins, the transformation becomes undeniable. The surface mirrors the world again. The car doesn't just look restored, it looks reborn. Chrome pieces are restored and reinstalled. Bumpers shine, trim gleams. Badges return to their rightful places, proud and unmistakable. Inside, the cabin is rebuilt with care. Seats are reupholstered, foam renewed, stitching precise. The dash is restored, gauges refreshed, wiring replaced. The smell changes, gone is decay. In its place, leather, vinyl, and promise. The steering wheel returns to the column, pedals feel firm again. Controls respond with purpose. This is no longer a shell, it is a cockpit. Finally, the engine returns home, lowered carefully into the bay, mounts tightened, connections made. Fluids fill systems long dry, fuel lines are primed. Ignition is set. There is a moment before the first start where everything goes quiet. Breath held, hands steady, history waiting. The key turns. At first, hesitation, then a cough, then ignition. The engine roars to life, not weak, not uncertain, but strong. The sound fills the space, deep and commanding. The heartbeat of American muscle echoes off the walls. Oil pressure rises. Exhaust pulses with authority. This car speaks again, and its voice is unmistakable. Final checks are made, adjustments fine-tuned. Wheels are mounted, tires inflated, suspension settled. The GTO lowers onto its feet, standing proud for the first time in decades. Then comes the reveal. The doors open, light floods in, the car rolls forward, paint shimmering, engine rumbling, stance aggressive and confident. Every scar healed, every flaw addressed. This is no longer a forgotten relic. This is a legend restored. From abandonment to rebirth, from silence to thunder, from dust to dominance. The 1964 Pontiac GTO lives again, not as a museum piece, not as a memory, but as what it was always meant to be. A symbol of power, a machine with a soul, a reminder that even when left behind, greatness can rise again.